Hello guys, I was working on this veneer and I thought that that might be a fun one to show you all. Playing around with new rollers and such, and this one is kind of another version of my Royal Orchids. I think I named it Baroque Orchids. I'll have to look that. I haven't decided for sure. I'm just working on getting these guys in the system. But yeah, I really like this one a lot. Got a bunch of new stuff that I like a lot. Let's see, so this is the debossing version, so you can see what it's going to look like more or less once we put it on the clay. I'm using the embossing because I want the end pattern to be raised, not deep. Got another one too that's really pretty that's about to get released with it. This one's more of a peacock feather, but it's just full of a bunch of swirly twirly patterning and whatnot. But these guys end up looking really nice when used with the alcohol inks, so I was kind of playing around with that. I've got so many new rollers over here, it's ridiculous. ADD is fun. I've been on a creative bender. I'll show a bunch at the end of the video. But yeah, so this is what we're playing with. And I'm in love with these Kamenskaya. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Kamenskaya. Kamenskaya, probably. Love with these inks. Let's see, I've got these are really neat too. They're an acrylic ink. Playing with those too. Those are kind of fun. But yeah, so I've got these guys, and then somewhere else. These are awesome too. So these are their alcohol ink, but it's very heavily white filled, and it comes out with almost a matte finish. So those are really neat too. But I want to play more metallic today than matte. So I am planning on redoing this light teal color. So Sculpey Primo Peacock Pearl, Sculpey Primo White, and I've got 2 chunks of Primo White to 1 chunk Pearl, and I will get those all mixed up for you guys. But yeah, so mostly that's what we need. Just our roller, some water to make sure the roller is wet before I put it into use, and my alcohol ink colors. I'm not using the pearl because I don't like that one for this. I want most of the color, the iridescent color. And then this is the first version of it. So I'm going to show you guys how I accomplished this. Oh, that was right. There's one more thing on here. These are another one of my new favorite things. Aqua Bronze. For some reason, somewhere I saw that it has, yeah, it's not much in English, made in Germany, that it has some sort of binder in it, which once it heat sets into clay, it seems to hold up extremely well. So it works nicely for doing my top coloration because it'll actually just bake it in and it doesn't need to be sealed necessarily. Not saying it won't come off at all, but so far, the ones I've used it on, I've worn them quite a few times, and it seems to be holding up really well. So that's what I'm using to get the rest of the definition back out on that. So it comes in I have them in black gold, pale gold, copper, and then silver. Silver, that's funny. Anyway, yeah, so those are the colors I have, but this one I use that. I might use something else on the next one. I'll leave those down. All right, so I'm going to mix this up, and I'll be right back. Okie dokie, so back, and I've got my color mixed up. Very pretty color. I like that one a lot. Need to get my roller wet. So start keeping a little sponge bath for it. So nice and wet, spray all sides, and then just use the, oops, use a little sponge to make sure it's wet all the way through. Then I usually keep a towel handy to just kind of keep it from being overly wet, or just kind of shake it off once real quick. So now that is hopefully de-stickied some. And then another big trick is I like to burnish my clay down. This came out a little on the sticky side, so my newest block of Sculpey White is very soft. It's a little firmer than the black. My new black is, oh my goodness, that block is soft. It softens everything up. All right, and then apparently the roller pulled out. There we go. The handles make this a little easier to use because it gives me something to spread out. I'll still keep my hand on the pattern unless it's a pokey pattern. And then I want to make sure that most of this detail gets in there because I want that main flower in there. So slowly, don't put much pressure at the edge because sometimes it'll pull it along with it. And usually just soft, even pressure and soften off before you get to the outside edge so that it doesn't pull too much. And yeah, I got just nothing really in it, mostly just kind of a little clay sticking to it. So that'll wipe off with a baby wipe and just clean it off a little bit. So yep, find wet rollers seem to do the best, especially excessively wet rollers seem to do the absolute best. But okay, so we've got our pattern laid in, and very, very pretty. Okay. And then I want to start playing around. So I have the other one. I used all 5 of the colored. So if you put them upside down, you can see a little bit of the tonality to them. And the green, I don't think gives me a whole lot of the green effect. I think the yellow one was my favorite. That one was really pretty. But start with one color. Let's see. That's the blue. Let's start with the pink. And this one's a little bolder than I love, so don't mind letting it just get a little lost. Lay a little in. Might take a straw. Move it around a little just to make sure it stays moving. And get you guys in a little closer. There we go. So that was the pinkish one. Let me put this in some sort of order. Okay, put that one away because I've used that one. Right? Wait. That's the pinkish one. Okay. So let's go to purple. I don't even know. Pastel colors are hard. Oh, this is the blue one. Okay. That's giving me a little bit of the blue in there. That's the pink one. This is the purple one. Okay. It's got a little purple tone to it. Sorta. So hard to tell, but it comes out so pretty. I'm a little curious what would happen if I went with a dark, 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 dark one. Let's lift this, lean it a little, get these colors moving around. All right, the green one next. I'm going to aim for places that aren't quite covered. That one needs to be pokeyed. I love these things. Little nozzle cleaning needles. I always include these with my rollers, and I recommend put a little handle on them. You just build something out of clay, throw it in the oven, and makes it easier to hold and control. But it's great for all sorts of stuff. But right now, it's handy to have for clearing out my alcohol inks. So this is the greenish one. Go, get in there. And the orangey gold one is kind of my favorite of these currently. That'll change in a week. I like how it really lights up everything. I'm going to use it the heaviest. And over top of it all, trying to find anywhere where the color hasn't seeped into all the details. a little, let some of this run so some of these colors mix together just a hair. I fill in any spots that maybe aren't filled in. And then often take a sheet of paper and just clear off the top layer. Fun. Because I do want to be able to polish the top, so I don't want that too heavy with the alcohol inks. Tappy, tappy, tappy. All right, there we go. So all the gaps and valleys are filled, and that top layer is clean enough that it should go well with the using the powders on it. So we're gonna have to let that sit for a while. So I'll be back once that is dry. Sorry about that. Needed to shush the dogs. All right, so put the gold in a few spots. Working that in. Some gold out from under my fingernail. Back to the silver. I'm kind of looking to let the colors bounce back and forth to kind of encourage the chameleon-y effect that I was playing with in using the chameleon alcohol inks. Oh, my dogs are all antsy all of a sudden. Never ends, does it? Turn on the video camera and something has to get disruptive. All right, I'm going to see if I can get my finger in here for a little more gold. What, big girl? Ridgeback rarely asks for attention, but apparently she needs something. I'll probably have to run her outside for just a sec. And again, I kind of want it to roll all together. That. Baby wipes are an artist's best friend, man. Buy a case from Costco. And always have them on hand. All right, so close these guys up and put them away before some mess gets made, because some mess is always going to get made. And yeah, so far I'm absolutely loving it. All right, so what kind of shapes do we want to do here? The last batch I did my teardrops and some hearts. Actually, for some reason, those hearts went really well with, oh no, I did the rectangles and some hearts. I often love using these guys, but I don't think I'll be able to capture, I mean, it'll be beautiful in the swirls, so I might come back to that, but I don't think that's going to capture. And I didn't do a big heart pendant, I did a slightly. And something about the shapes in this just kind of complement this particular heart quite well. It's a giant one, that's a slightly smaller one. But kind of the goal is to really catch this orchid. And again, the swirls in this are great. So if I'm just going for textures and swirls, that's really pretty. All right, let me see. I've got one more heart set. I swear I will eventually get these guys on the Etsy shop. They're just kind of a pain to print. And I'm still working out details on them. So, ooh. Okay, I kind of like the fat heart for this, because that lets... I won't be able to grab that one. I think I like that. It catches the swirl, it catches the... There we go. Nice big fat pendant. There, get a clean cut through, looks through. Nice thing about working on tile, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but I can just see it. And I've got the line, there you can see the cut line, so I can make sure that I got all the way through in one press. Alright, so Now, do I want the little matchy heart earrings? Those are really big. I need to do a size in between, don't I? A little, be pretty studs. Actually, maybe I will do a pair of heart studs for this. That swirl, I want to be able to use, you're not going to be able to tell that that's an orchid. Let's see, I wanted this. So let me just steal this first. Always a balancing act of trying to make sure you get the big pieces you want and make sure you leave yourself enough room for all the little pieces you're going to want to do. Should be a pretty complement to that, and I get a good bit of the color change happening through there. To be honest, I think I'll go a little more of this gold. I'm going to accentuate the color change on that. Here we go. Okay. Not enough room there. There is enough room. That looks really good with the other one. And then to the hearts, I don't really care particularly what I get there. And it looks like there's just enough in here. Yep, that'll work. Okay. And with those, what I really like for earrings are these guys. Oh, looks like we got our little colors a little off. There we go. So what I really like for earrings are these guys. Hoping to leave enough room for a pair of heart studs also. Yeah, that works. Might be able to get that once I pull that away. Maybe. Separate. There you go. Oh, no, I kind of messed that up maybe. I have this one done. Put that away. So I don't try to do it twice. And there you go. Don't think there's quite enough there. Almost though, man, it's close. It's trash otherwise, so cut it out. Oh, yeah. Ah, I didn't ruin it. Shocking. Okay. So yeah, there's just enough of that. And now if I want to do, I don't know. Or should I just run? Do a pair of hearts. It's catching a little bit of that orchid. Doo-doo. Surprising amount of that's still left. carry her all the way through. Alright, so got both of those. And this is more, let's cut one more of these because I can. That way I'll be able to decide between, or I can try something else with the piece. Okay, so pull all this out and see what we ended up with. Little heart studs are really cute. Go ahead and grab a piece of paper and just press you down a little bit. In case I decide to resin, I like to have all my pieces stuck down to tile. Yeah, this came out super, super pretty. I like them. I like it a lot. Wow, yeah, that's really flashy. Super pretty. Okie dokie. Guess I have to make sure I name this name this roller now. I think I put it in his, I don't remember. I'll have to look and see what I did. How I named it. I end up with so many. I just randomly pick names sometimes. Some days I'm in a great naming mode, and other days not as much. Alright, I still got the other setup in here baking, but I'll go ahead and pull that out to show you all quickly. So again, this set, oh, the colors seem to be popping up a little bit more now too. Oh wow, yeah. So I expect we'll get a little bit more vibrancy once this set's baked as well. Don't have enough in the oven to do both, so that's still, I think, had about 10 minutes left, and then we'll put this in. I usually run everything for about an hour, but I use a toaster oven and I don't preheat. So I tend to run everything for about an hour, and that way it's got plenty of time to preheat and come up, and I often will leave it in there to cool back down. Don't know if it's necessary. Oh, and I'm baking about 275. But yeah, anyway, I think that is all for now. I'll have to come back as I'm finishing out some of those baked pieces and see what happens once we bake this one up too. I bet those colors will pop back up like the other ones did. Should be really, really, really pretty. I'm excited about them. Those are beautiful. All right, I'll be back. Okie dokie, everything is out of the oven. These were that first set that I already had done and cut and baked. And then these guys are all the ones we did together. So you can see they've got the more gold and silver. It's interesting, I think the silver lets some of the pastel come through it a little bit, where the gold and silver mix didn't pick up quite as much of the pastel colors. That's fascinating. And then love this set. Put that out of the way. These came out really pretty. So those little studs and pretty little heart pendant. So yeah, I am really, really, really quite pleased with how these came out. And it's a really pretty little, really pretty pattern, really pretty set. And yeah, so apparently I have to go deal with the big dog. So you all have a great day and happy crafting.